And we're recording. Good evening, everybody. After a couple of little blips, we have with us a very good friend of mine from back in yeshiva days, Rabbi Chaim Hanoka, who is the shliach in Pasadena. And Rabbi, thank you first of all for joining us. We really appreciate it. We know that your life has been turned upside down. Maybe give us a little background. How long have you been in Pasadena? What does the Jewish community look like in Pasadena? What is Chabad in Pasadena? And then we'll take us up to what you've been dealing with over the last week or so.
You have to work with me. Honestly, my voice is shot. I'm kind of
Understand,
hoarse from the
understand.
smoke and what have you. So work with me. But to answer your question, is we've been here about 30 years, and the I started the Chabad here 30 years ago. There was nothing in that way when we first came down here. We have a very, Hashem, thank God, a very active Chabad center with a plethora, I would say, of classes which go on here every night. There's people here basically all day, all night. There's a preschool here. There's a mikveh here. That's like on a regular day. Um, Everything changed dramatically a week ago tonight, actually. It was Tuesday night last week where we had some tremendous winds. It kind of came down through this area of 70, 80-mile-an-hour winds with 100-mile-an-hour gusts. It
Oh boy.
was somewhat like a tornado, and that's kind of what spread this fire that started up in the mountains, which is just a couple miles north of us. And once those winds kicked up, it was anybody's guess where the embers would land. And fast forward a week, and there are literally thousands and thousands of homes destroyed, somewhere between 5 and 7,000. They don't
Oh
think they have
my.
the numbers straight yet.
Well,
So
give
it
us a
looks
little
like
geography. Where are you in relation to like Los Angeles or some place that we might be more familiar with if someone isn't real familiar with California? Where are you closer to the ocean? You're more inland, you're north of Los Angeles, south. Like give us a little geography so we can get a sense of where the fire started and how far you are and what's going on.
I'm about 25 miles or 30 miles from the water inland. No,
Hmm.
I'm like northeast of LA, pretty much. That helps anybody. We're in a valley itself called the San Gabriel Valley. We're at sort of at the foothills of the mountains, which are about 2 miles north of me. If they start going up, the fire started just about there, 2.5 miles maybe from my house.
Do we know
Mm,
how it got started? Was it just the natural causes? Was it
mm,
carelessness? Is this unusual? Seem to hear every year about fires in California. Is this really
yeah,
distinctive? Do we have any sense of that?
it's one of our seasons, fires. Honestly, we have fires every year. The natural cause they're assuming is that the wires from a Southern California Edison tower caught fire some way or another. I mean, there's video going around. Whether it's actually the source or not remains to be determined by the attorneys and everybody else. But it's likely to have come from there because it's right where the fire started, and there's people, someone who lives up there has video of it beginning, literally, and then they had to flee quickly. So more likely than not, that's where it came from, and it's just because of the winds it kicked up and spread like wildfire, but no pun intended, literally.
So you hear about this. Take us through your own personal experience and your response. You're the Rebbe Shliach there. You obviously have your own family, your own home, your own concerns. Walk us through a little bit of how you heard about this and how your life has been turned upside down for the last week.
I guess I first heard about it um, probably sometime late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. There's like a system that goes out on the phones, like an alert, basically emergency alert system. I don't know if you have it in Chicago. Here we have it for earthquakes and other things that went out. Evacuation either mandatory, recommended. It starts telling you what's going on. So it's
Was your
bit.
neighborhood evacuated?
I'm not. I'm about 5 or 6 blocks south of the evacuation area. We
Wow.
weren't mandatory evacuated. Let's put it this way: there was no mandatory evacuation. At some point, it was. It's not called suggested. I forgot evacuation warning. Maybe I forgot the terminology. But we never actually had to factually evacuate, although many of our congregants did. In
So let
fact,
me
we
so let
took
me jump in this. What does it mean evacuate? Where do you go?
so a bunch of people ended up in my house. Honestly, we had people in my house through Saturday night sleeping
And
in my
how
house.
did
And no
they know?
place
They just showed up with their
they called, "Can we
suitcase?
come?" Yeah, literally. or some with the clothes on their backs. I mean, just depending who came from where.
And do we know what happened to those people's homes and lives?
We do. Some of them have homes and some of them don't have homes.
Wow, that's
Tell me
just,
yay
Kind
or
of
nay. Oh,
I'm sorry.
damn
well,
you.
It's
no, we just got background noise here. I'll just mute, don't
it's
worry.
okay.
So
Um,
you're the Rebbe Shliach. You're there not just to teach Torah, but to take every concern. What was your response once you sort of realized the enormity of this? What was your steps that you and there were other shluchim with you there in Pasadena? What give us a little feel for the staffing and so on.
so we are currently seven shluchim in Pasadena area,
Oh wow.
Pasadena, South Pass, Arcadia, the general area.
Were any of them
Um,
evacuated?
no, none of them were evacuated. Two of them live in different cities, like to the east and to the south. There's four of us that live in Pasadena proper, not far from the shul, and we were all of us just south. Some just south of the evacuation zone, and some like 5 or 6 blocks, meaning the other ones are like a block away or less. But thankfully, all of our homes are fine. The moment we heard about it, we opened up our house, obviously, to whoever we could, and we started calling everybody that we know just to see how, if to make sure that they got out because the evacuation, some had to leave in the middle of the night, some early in the morning. You know, there wasn't a lot of planning for this, obviously. So we want to track everybody down primarily to find out that they're safe and if they need shelter, you know, if we can be of help. And then the enormity of it started setting in where I happen to be a chaplain in the police department, which helps me get up to the evac zone now. At the time, this is a week ago, Wednesday, myself and two other shluchim from the area and two congregants drove up to the fire area. It was apocalyptic, I'd say probably is a nice word. The fires were still raging, and we were just checking to make sure that our people that we knew got out. And not everybody had left yet, and it was something I never want to see it go again. It literally looks like someone dropped an atom bomb on the area and just flattened block after block after block.
I got some
So
pictures here that you sent. I hope everyone can see these pictures. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Can you see this picture?
that's kind of just of the fire. Some of the firefighters, I can
Some of the
see it, but
firefighters, okay. Here it
it's
looks like,
video. That's National Guards. It's up there now. So it's a closed area. You can't even get up there. That's video more so.
okay, so that's
Yesterday,
you distributing water. Can you guys hear the video as I'm speaking?
I don't hear it.
You don't hear. Okay, let me redo that. Hold on, I can fix that. Hold on. Share sound. Here, so this is you. It looks like you're in your policeman's uniform.
It's got some snacks,
Yes.
some water. Help yourself, whatever you want. God bless you.
Thank you.
Just driving around. So when
So
is this video from? Here we
this
go.
is
Opened
yes.
up a daycare slash camp for kids because
Look at
some
this.
of the schools have burned down, other ones are closed in the area. Parents are pulling their hair out, those who have a home still, and we've opened up a daycare slash camp for these kids for now to give them something to do, something productive to do during the day with all kinds of activities. We brought in entertainers and the like. And with God's help, hopefully sooner than later, they'll be able to be back in their own classrooms.
So what are we looking at? What are you standing in front of? What used to
This
be there?
is this was Holmes. This is actually next door to one of my congregants who's just to the right of where I'm standing.
Maybe another
Her
video you can
entire
just see it.
block.
Where is this?
Um, this is you know if you can see it, they're doing aerial drops. Whether that's just like I don't know, you can't really see it. It's the helicopters doing aerial drops.
This is the Shluchim from Pasadena, Altadena. We're
This
here
car in the
in
background here.
Altadena, checking up on the community members' homes.
Amazing.
Those that are still standing, at least, to see if there's anything we can do. At least bring them good news that their house is still standing. Some of them, the last report they have is that it was still standing when the fires were burning, but they don't know what's going on. The devastation here is horrible.
We are up here also delivering food and supplies to the law enforcement, police departments, fire departments, anyone else we can help out.
So what is behind you?
And,
Those are just homes.
It's just burnt out
Somehow or
homes,
another,
one
we're
after the
gonna rebuild
next.
better than before.
Um,
When you look at these homes, you think of all the people that built families here, And we're part of a community here, and you can see pieces of the homes still standing. You can see cars, you can see washing machines, not cars. You can see the skeletons of cars. You can see washing machines. You can see chimney stacks. Very often, that's what stands here. It's a chimney stack standing right here. Lots of them all over, and like Rabbi Hanoka said, we will rebuild. We will rebuild. We're going to be here for the community during this time of challenge and difficulty, and we'll make it to happier times and to better times.
With your help, we can make it happen even faster. Thank you.
Beautiful, amazing. So,
I mean, there are honestly thousands of these homes that are burnt to the ground. All that's left is a foundation and a chimney, by and large.
it's frightening. Absolutely frightening. So, what is going on now? What's sort of the story now?
So Baruch Hashem, the fires have, well, as of this morning, they were 30% contained, which means that 70% not contained, which is better than nothing. But the fires are largely up in the mountains right now and not in the residential areas. So
There's another picture that you shared earlier. Can you start? What are we looking at? This is someone's home?
this is one of our congregants' homes. So that's a
Oh.
garage that burned to the ground. To the left of it, I don't know if you can see, is her house. And we went up there last Wednesday, that same day, and to check on her house. She's now a woman who's a widow. She just lost her husband a few months ago. And we tried putting out, there was still flames in the garage to make sure her house would stay up, and there was no water. They shut the water to the whole area. They were literally taking buckets. She had a lot of planters in her backyard. We emptied them out, these clay planters, and we were using dirt. And we ultimately suffocated the fire and saved her house. Nothing more, nothing less.
So what are we
Yeah.
looking at here? This is
That's the garage. That's it's three of us up there.
But the house is still standing.
The house is just to the left. It's still standing. I just saw it yesterday. It's still up. It's
Amazing.
one of two houses within 20 or 30 on that block. Only two of them are standing. Everything else is burnt to the ground.
Unbelievable. So a person's house is destroyed. Where are they? They're still staying in your house? They're in hotels?
No.
What happens to these people?
A lot of them went to hotels, friends, San Diego, Palm Springs, just to get away. The air quality was horrible until yesterday. I mean, it's where my voice went, but there was ash in the air every day, falling down like for 4 or 5 days, and very smoky. So this morning, the smoke was a little heavier. Right now, Baruch Hashem, it's not bad, but it's kind of hit and miss. Depends which way the winds are blowing. Like you never know.
What is life looking like now, tonight, tomorrow? Is there any semblance of routine, or is just everything absolutely consumed with the victims of the fire and the attempt to sort of straighten us out?
Routine, probably not. Even in my own life now, our normal programming, for lack of a better term, like we normally have a class tonight, 2 classes tonight. Everything's canceled. It's just everybody's lives are upside down. At the Chabad house, I can't show it to you when I'm in my office here, but the actual shul room is almost like a relief center. We have meals brought in every day. Hundreds of meals are being handed out.
How do you even coordinate that? I mean, who do you call? Can people travel back and forth?
So
How do you guys do this stuff? It's amazing.
I can't take credit for it. It's the Jewish community in LA and the Valley has been sending through various caterers, restaurants. Literally, they can't do enough. So every day we've had 100+ meals. We get them out there. They bring them here, and then we either distribute them personally. People come to pick them up. Everyone's different. So tonight, for about 2 hours, it was pretty busy here. People coming in and out. Just before I got on here, we had a Latino family just out of the blue who lost their home in Altadena, came in. Someone said they should come here. And we just loaded them up with toiletries, some clothes, pillows, blankets, water, whatever they needed. And we're open to everybody. It's not only for Jewish people.
Devastating. What else can you tell us is going on with the other Chabads in your general area? Were there more Chabad house communities that were more directly affected, wiped out? Chabad houses themselves, shuls? I mean, can you give us a degree of the magnitude of what this means? It's like almost unimaginable to think that this is going on in the United States. I mean, those pictures look like a war zone.
It is a war zone. The 2 largest fires are the one that we have here and the one in Pacific Palisades, which is about probably 30 miles from me, maybe give or take. I don't know. Palisades, miraculously, I should add, the Chabad house did not burn down. Everything around it burned. You know, Hashem certainly watched over that one. The rabbi's house there is still there, but he cannot live there now. It's the whole area is a mandatory evacuation zone, and Pacific Palisades is, I don't know, was it a half or two, three quarters destroyed? I mean, it's just some very expensive homes up there. It's very hilly and a lot of gated homes, and it's just gone. I mean,
It's gone
it,
unbelievable.
but there's no one
Unbelievable.
living up there now. It's you're not allowed to go up there. Those are the two largest fires. There's some smaller ones in another part of the valley. LA had a small fire. Thank God it was extinguished. I think it was Saturday night. It didn't. Thank God they knocked it down pretty quickly. And they brought in helicopters and planes with fire retardant, which they could not do here for like 3 days because of the winds. They couldn't fly them, and that's why a lot of it spread so quickly. So they did the best they can. But those are the two largest fires that I'm aware of. And the
Unbelievable.
communities, the conservative temple in our city burnt to the ground, sadly, as well. They lost everything there.
I think did you
Um,
send a picture of that?
something. I don't have a picture,
I think you maybe here, let me see. I think this is something you may have sent me earlier. Let's see. Is that
possibly. Oh, I may have sent it to you earlier. That's true. If you show it to me.
This is across the street from Maryland.
No,
All the houses
that's
here burnt
that's
out.
this is the woman's house. This is the day of the fires. That's not the same picture, though. I probably sent you a still of it.
let's see what I
Can't
got.
like on the first day. Let me see.
Amazing. This we saw
No,
before. This.
that's the conservative temple. That's the one.
Oh my word. This is
Yeah,
in your neighborhood.
yeah, it's not far.
Oh my, just gone. Absolutely
It
devastating.
was
Just
a
absolutely
large edifice with a preschool next door to it, all burnt, gone.
gone. Oh my word. Wow. Okay. So, Chaim, how can we help you help so many Jews who are dealing with this? I put in the chat a link to your Chabad House's gifts to make donations if people want to participate. What else can we do? And thank you for all that you're doing.
You can pray for everybody out here. Say Tehillim
Wow.
and
What
pray
do
for
we?
them. Honestly, that's and whatever donations come in would be great, a great help,
Okay.
or just forwarding it out to the people that need it so desperately.
Okay. Well, I definitely donated and we posted it in our WhatsApp and it's here in the chat. And if somebody wants to jump in and ask Rabbi Hanoka a question, here now is your chance. Otherwise, I mean, he's had a long day. We want to let him go. But if you want to, just unmute and jump right in.
Two quick questions. At the conservative shul, did they lose their Torahs?
No, actually, they evacuated, I think, the night before, took the Torahs with them,
Okay.
thankfully. And well, then the rest of you saw. So
Okay. And second, highly suggest you keep a mask on so that
I've
you're
been
not.
wearing I've been wearing a mask all day. Yeah, well, I'm in my office at this point. I'm trying to breathe. So
Okay,
I'm
good,
Yeah,
good.
the mask left over from COVID.
you're laughing, but I actually have a bunch of N95s. Well, I got a lot more, honestly, but we've been giving them out.
Yeah.
So we
Good.
had like one box left, and then a bunch, someone else brought in hundreds of them, which we've been handing out to people all around because you can't, they're hard to get. You can't get them in the stores. Stores are all out of masks.
Hi,
Sure.
W.
David, you
Yehuda. I used to live in Oregon. How come this one hit such populated areas?
The fire started not far from, it maybe, I don't know, not even sure how close. It's probably not far from a populated area. It's the winds. The Santa Ana winds kicked up. They were extremely powerful that night. It just blew embers all over the place in a matter of minutes. Like streets would go up, and they didn't have the fire forces to be able to extinguish them. They were spread so thin. They couldn't fly in, as I said, they couldn't fly any helicopters or fire retardant planes because of the winds. And they just burned. There's nothing they can do. Just trying to
Are,
get people. We're worried about saving lives and not homes at that point.
are there a lot of people that died?
As of now, I think they found 26 people, sadly, that they know of. There's still people missing. So I don't know what the latest number is. I haven't checked. But as of this morning, that's what it was.
There's been a lot of talk about people losing insurance in the area. And I'm wondering, are there people that you're aware of or that you're coming into contact with who didn't have coverage?
I don't know if people didn't have getting fire insurance in a fire zone area is very difficult and expensive. So factually, I don't know who had what type of insurance. This is all going to unfold, obviously, as things come along. And even those who have insurance, getting an insurance company to pay out, any home in California is a million plus for for a closet and a bathroom. So you're talking about some serious money, and no insurance company is wanting to spend money if they don't have to. It's going to be a battle. I mean, they're talking, I think I saw a figure like 130 billion with a B dollars in losses. That's a lot of change.
I'm hearing closer to 300 billion now.
Oh, okay. Well, this was yesterday. I guess
Yeah.
you could well
We
be.
have one more day.
I don't know what the numbers are, but there's staggering amounts of money, and beyond the money, it's just you have some people who are elderly in their 70s, and you want to rebuild a house from scratch. It's gonna take 2 3 years. So you get permits to clean up infrastructure. I mean, it's not. It's stressful for a young person to build a house from scratch, let alone somebody who's already more elderly. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that. I guess time will tell.
Good.
Are there shortages of consumables like grocery products? Or are they able to get it in to the people that need it into the communities around LA?
No, there's not a shortage of that in Pasadena. At this point, the stores are open. When it first happened, a lot of the stores closed, like some of the grocery stores or whatever it is, or shut. Smart and Final. I don't know if you have that out there. Like the larger stores, they were closed, but now everything's open, and it's LA is a huge area. I mean, you can bring stuff in from 10 miles away, and everything's fine. They were limiting how much water you can buy in the stores here. It may still be limiting today. I'm not sure because the water is not drinkable in any of the evacuation area. The pumps went down and they couldn't purify the water accordingly. So huge areas don't have water, drinkable or cookable water. That's still a problem, which I know they're working on. I'm not sure where it's at. But other than that, masks, batteries, stuff like this, you couldn't get. But by now, things are starting to restock.
Well, I am not complaining about the next snowstorm we have, I'll tell you that.
We're not expecting a snowstorm here, to the best of my. That would be the cherry on the cake. We had a snowstorm. The city would close down for a month.
Okay, well, Rabbi Hanoka, thank you for spending some time. I'm sure you're exhausted, and thank you for the good work that you do. And thank you for all that you do for our brothers and sisters out there. We are davening for you. And again, in the chat, everybody is the link if you want to contribute to Chabad's efforts to help these people. We saw the devastation, we hear about it. And there is a saying, I'm sure you've heard this at least 1,000 times, that after a fire, a person becomes wealthy. So we had the negative, or Rabbi Akiva saw the foxes running across the base of Migdash and laughed because he said, now we're ready for the second half of the prophecy with Mashiach's coming. So we see the first part has been fulfilled with this terrible, terrible, frightening devastation. May the second parts be fulfilled in the ultimate end with the coming of Mashiach. So thank you, everybody.
Amen to that.
Thank you for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Feel good, get some rest, have some tea.
Yeah, I just had a tea while we were talking. Thank you. All the best, Rabbi Epstein.
Thanks for
Take
joining.
care. You're welcome.